Welcome to Divine Hand for another soulful, insightful, spiritual message. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, collect it. I pre-pulled some cards for our convenience. With that being said, let's get started. Okay, so I pulled some oracle cards and some tarot to go with them to wrap their message up. And with that being said, let's just dive right in. Okay, so the first card reads, "Protect your heart with wisdom." Okay, and so this is about not closing your heart off to love, um but loving consciously instead of emotionally impulsively. Okay, so the card I pulled was the Page of Cups. Okay, and so this is about being emotionally open, right? This is your innocence. You are being invited to stay soft and receptive regarding love. Okay, so this is your wisdom, right? Using your wisdom, right? Your discernment, because this is also intuition. Okay, so feel the feelings, but don't just immediately give access to your heart, is what I'm getting, because it may feel sweet or familiar. Okay. So then the next card I pulled for that oracle is the Knight of Cups. Okay. And so this is someone bringing you a romantic gesture. Okay. This could be charm, someone that's very charming and romantic. Okay. And so um sometimes this leads to like fantasy, okay, rather than a grounded truth. Okay, so wisdom is going to be needed here as well. Okay, so pacing yourself, don't rush emotional bonds. Okay, and get swept off a potential alone. So what I'm getting here is like, protect your heart by letting consistency prove intention over time. Okay, so the next card I have is forgive to free yourself, not to excuse the pain. Okay. So what I'm getting for that is just like release. It's about like releasing for your own peace. Okay. While still honoring what hurts. Okay. So what I pulled with that was the Ten of Pentacles. Okay. I pulled the Ten of Pentacles, and this is like long term stability. This is your legacy. This is like family patterns too. Can have something to do with your family. Okay. This is generational cycles as well. Okay. So like old wounds tied to long standing connections like family, marriage, or relationships. You're being called to, to forgive them, so it could free you. Now you don't have to associate, but it is good to forgive. If you can make amends, then great, But if that's just not something that you are into, collective, just forgive. Just to free yourself, okay, to free your soul. Okay. So this is also a desire for lasting peace. Okay. And not ongoing emotional debt. So you don't want to constantly keep racking up emotional debt, regarding, family, or um a lover, maybe. It could be an earth sign or Virgo. Okay. We could be talking about a Virgo, or talking to a Virgo. So like just releasing that pain. Okay, is what I'm getting. And this is releasing that pain of like all these, like, generational cycles. And it's rebuilding a legacy. Okay, it's rebuilding a legacy. Okay, on forgiveness, right? So then we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, and so the Knight of Pentacles is basically saying move slow, right? And responsibly. Okay, with consistency. Okay, so heal gradually is what I'm getting here. Okay, this is also Virgo energy, so we heavy on the Virgo. Okay, forgiveness is a practice. Okay, and not a single moment. Okay, you are you are choosing emotional maturity over resentment. Okay, so the King of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, it doesn't, you don't forget the lesson. Okay, it's just that you integrate the lessons that you've learned throughout the past. Okay, or through your family. Okay. And so together it's like saying, release, you may be releasing resentment, or you need to, there's a need to. Okay. Forgiveness is just like being used as a tool for long-term peace. Okay. Not reconciliation by default. Okay. um you can forgive and still require change behavior and boundaries. Okay, collective is what I'm getting here, right? So forgiveness clears your energy, accountability protects your future is what I'm getting on that. Okay. And so the last card reads spirit light. Spirit light, your energy uplifts others. Okay. So this is just a message that highlights that your presence has power. Okay. Even when you don't, realize it yourself. Okay. And, you know, this explains that it's a gift, and it's an inner struggle to, to understand that, right? Um, because like I said, it's a gift and a curse. It's, what I'm getting here, what I'm getting in my mind's eye, right? It's like a gift and a curse, right? But this is why the forgiveness is very important, right? To free up some legacy, to restart a legacy, right? Of love and forgiveness and wisdom and protecting your heart. Spiritual discernment is what I'm getting here, right? So far, right? And so for the spirit light, right? Your energy uplifts others. I got the King of Wands, okay? And so this card represents like charisma, leadership, right? Confidence and spiritual fire, okay? So you naturally radiate inspiration, okay? People feel motivated, seen, and energized around you. Okay, so you have that type of energy. Okay, your spirit carries vision, and it carries like courage. Okay, which uplifts others without even trying. Okay, this is your light, collective. Okay, and then we have the Nine of Swords upright. Okay, and so here we see mental stress, guilt, overthinking, or self blame. Okay, so this suggests that you may carry anxieties about how others feel about you, collective, and you need to release that. Okay. Also what I'm getting is you may worry if you done something wrong to someone or whatever. If you have, just make amends with that person if that's available for you to do. If not, just forgive yourself. Okay. So this is like, a situation where you tried to help but felt misunderstood. Sometimes you can't help people if they not, if they can't receive it, and that's what I can say for that. Okay. um so what I'm getting here is, your light doesn't disappear, but you sometimes turn it inward as worry. So, sometimes your light, you're needing to turn it inwards. Okay, when it comes to what you're putting out there. Okay. The last card we have for this is the Four of Pentacles, and this card is about holding back, right? Protecting your energy, your emotional confirmation. Thank you, Spirit. Your emotional self preservation. Okay, you have learned to guard yourself, because giving too much once cost you your peace. So you may dim your light or withhold your warmth, feel, your warmth energy to just feel safe. Okay, so protection becomes restriction if you're not careful. Okay, you are a natural uplifter and a leader. Okay. Your light heals, collective. You just don't know. It heals the masses, okay? But you don't have to, burn yourself out to prove that, okay? So you want to shine without overextending, right? Lead without absorbing other people's pain, okay? And protect your energy without shrinking is what I'm getting here, okay? So, with that being said, thank you for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.